Hi there, guys. I'm Ailish.
And I'm Laurence.
As you guys might have known, if you watched the last video we did, we are listening to "All We Know Is Falling" from Paramore today. How are you feeling about it?
It would be interesting because, obviously, this is their first studio album that they released with a label. So it'd be interesting to see, sort of knowing how Riot sounds. Interesting to see how they progress in terms of musicality and lyrics.
Yeah.
From this first record, which you know, no offense to a lot of bands, but first records generally are never the best. In fact, they're usually the worst. And I don't mean that to denigrate musicians, but there is no musician I know that I've heard that I think, yes, their first project is their best project. The only one that comes even a little bit close is probably The Weeknd. I would say, the trilogy is known as his best project. For a lot of people, actually even the 1975, their first album, their first album was definitely
I was gonna say
some of their best stuff.
I was surprised that wasn't the first that you said.
Well, the problem is with the 1975, it's a bit hard because they never released an album first. The Weeknd released,
actual album.
well, he released Wicked Games on its own
Right.
first, before he whereas the 1975 did lots of little songs on their own.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it's kind of hard to sort of pinpoint when.
Okay.
Robbers was its own thing
Wow.
before the album even existed, and they re-recorded Robbers for the album.
Yep.
And if you actually go and look at sorry, we're on a tangent, but if you go and look at the 1975's version of Robbers from before the album, it's a lot more rock oriented. It's a lot
okay.
it's quite heavy.
All right. Well, I think you will actually like this. This is maybe obviously when they first started off, they were still doing quite a lot of that rock kind of stuff. So this will be like that very rock sound that you guys kind of heard for the first albums that we listened to.
Yeah.
They've obviously changed up their sound a little bit, even between this album and some of the Riot and Blinding Eyes and all that kind of stuff as well. So it's different.
Okay.
Even the way she kind of sings is wildly different.
She's still finding a sound.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Still finding a sound.
Yeah. But I really like the songs that are on this. For quite a few of them. Into it.
Crack into it. All right.
Cool.
So, album cover review.
Yes. What are you thinking?
Why do they have a couch in the forest? That's my question. Let's see if I can sort of do a deeper dive here. So, All We Know Is Falling. Couch. I can see the shadow of the person taking the photo of the couch. So all that's quite deliberate. You can edit that stuff out. So if you don't want a shadow to sort of show up, you get rid of it. I'm really struck with how bright it is. It's incredibly the colors are really saturated. Yeah, click it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so the colors are super, super saturated. We got to. Why weren't we doing this before?
I don't know. I come up with good ideas.
Okay, so she just clicks on it and it just goes not full screen, but we've been doing album cover reviews, squinting like this. Okay, anyway, so yeah, I'm really sort of seeing a lot of saturation, but what I find interesting is they've left the one shadow in a spot where someone would be sitting on there. So I'm gonna say the themes are gonna be about loss, because this to me looks like there's this world that they're in, or this place that they're in that's quite bright and happy, which means is meaningful, and this shadow sort of represents loss. So I'd say the album's probably going to be about loss.
Pretty good, actually.
Can you tell I'm a graphic designer? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
So, I was one of one of the band members, I think.
Yeah.
Daniel. Yeah, Daniel. And the album is about him basically them being cool. What would it be like for him not to be there? Essentially.
And that's him. There
Yeah,
you go.
pretty
Got it.
much. Yeah.
I knew that was significant because you just like you don't make, one of the rules in design is you don't make design choices unless there's a reason for it.
Yeah,
Everything,
yeah.
there is a reason for everything. Like, when I'm designing a logo, when I was designing our logo, like we could have gone crazy. I could have just put lots of, little bits and bobs everywhere, YouTube things, whatever. No, you got to make it real simple. If there's no reason for something to be there, don't put it there. And I think that's, and most of these sort of like studio albums follow that sort of concept unless they're crazy. But yeah, there we are.
All right. Well, now that we kind of get the overall idea of it, it's not a particularly long album or anything. We'll still do like break into it, but the first song is "All We Know."
Right in. What a way to kick it off. I love how it sent you like right in. I was like, whoa, we're in the song. Yeah, really, really enjoyed that one. Few thoughts. It is really a Vatira. Not in a negative way. Like, I know we're in 2005, just by the sound. But it's funny because like I'm a huge MCR fan, so like, yeah, I feel like I'm listening to Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, but with a girl singing. So there was a part here where it slowed down, and I immediately got like Ghost of You vibes from Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, where they had it. I'll play the song later, but you'll know what I mean. Like they have a very similar breakdown in the song.
Yeah.
Or actually, even Helena actually has a very similar breakdown in the middle of the song as well. So
yeah, definitely showing.
But yeah, loved it.
Okay, well that's good. Good strong start to that one then.
All the Paramore fans sigh of relief.
I thought you'd like this because this is.
Can I be honest? It doesn't sound like she's finding a sound. It sounds like she's already found it to me. I don't know. Maybe too early to say this, but like straight away, like all the things that like she's known for, I can already hear it.
Yeah, you can hear it, but it's definitely like the band doesn't sound like it currently does. Like not as in not even currently. Like it doesn't sound like it did during Riot or like some of the other ones. Like the way that they format their songs.
Oh yeah, that's
like
the
way that they kind of.
I reckon the band is definitely probably not the most primitive, but the band is definitely the part that's still experimenting and still sort of searching. I mean, I suppose though, with music, that's kind of what you're doing always. But
that's the thing though, is like it's when I say that like her, I mean like I should say just the band.
The band, yeah.
Like in general, like she does sound a little bit different in the other ones as well. Like her voice is different, like her whatever. There is a slight like she's becoming more mature with her sound, like the sound that they have. This is just like straight out of the gate, like they just threw you into it. There was no like introduction. It was just thrown in there. Really good. I still love the song, but it is definitely maybe not the most like just about any other song I know, whether it be rock, metal, whatever it is. A lot of the time there will be some kind of like introduction of some kind rather than just like a straight throw in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's next?
Pressure.
Pressure.
Not the pressure you think.
Dum, 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 dum.
Tell me
Mm.
I can feel the pressure. It's getting closer now. We're better off without you. Feel the pressure. It's getting closer now. You're better off without me.
Very nice. No, I like that one as well. I've only got one small gripe.
Yeah.
Just the drum syncopation sometimes was not off, but it felt like it was opposing the rhythm of the actual song. Only in some parts. Like it was not the whole way through. Like during the verses particularly, it felt very in sync, and it was like it almost felt like it was driving you to headbang. But like right at the end there, like you know what I mean, like right at the very end, there's like a moment where it just feels like it's like offbeat. It doesn't feel like it fits.
That might have been on purpose.
It might have been not
That is
completely on purpose. Like
not unheard of
like
with this band.
yeah, and like I was thinking like even and there's like good bits here where like after she's like feeling empty, there's a moment where there's like a bar where it just nothing. And then it goes straight back in. So you go in for that, and I think I did it on camera too. Like you go in for the next headbang, you're like, oh, okay, now it's starting. So yeah, no, that was a good song. Yeah.
All right, cool. So the next song then,
Mhm.
Emergency.
Beep boop. Wee woo wee woo.
I mean, yeah, that would constitute, I guess.
I think we have an emergency. I think we have an emergency. If you thought I'd leave, then you were wrong. 'Cause I won't stop holding you. So are you listening? So are you watching me? If you thought I'd leave, then you were wrong. 'Cause I won't stop holding you. This is an emergency. So are you listening? And I can't pretend that I don't see that. So you give up every chance you get just to feel new again. I think we have an emergency. I think we have an emergency. And you do your best to show me love, but you don't know what love is. So are you listening? So are you watching me? Well, I can't pretend that I don't see that.
They were good. Mm. Mm.
I really love the way that song.
Right. I love that whole song. Yeah, definitely that. Yeah, that's my favorite so far. Like that one's really good. I have a lot of thoughts about that one actually. First thing I just want to say is like this is like what Paramore ended up being known for. Like we said it a lot in the previous video. Sort of this tension building,
Yes, yeah.
building tension, releasing it, building tension, releasing it,
Yeah.
and being relentless about it.
Yeah.
I can just imagine. I've never seen them live, but I can just imagine like what that is like in a live
Oh,
crowd.
yeah.
Like that would be.
I remember seeing them live and they were like phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, listening to their music this way is really awesome. It does not capture just how good like their skills are in terms of like the
Yeah, and it's
performance
never,
as
and
well.
it's never, and like with good bands and like good musicians, it's never
Mm.
ever as good as it is on on the stage. And that's the thing. Like I think the sign of a really great artist is they're better on stage. You want to see them live because the
Yeah.
songs just sound so good.
Yeah.
You know, and like we saw My Chemical Romance together last year,
Yeah.
which was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it. I was like, you know, and I hadn't seen them, you know, for a decade and a half. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the last time they came to Melbourne
Mm.
was, you know, which is where we live, by the way. Don't
don't
dox us. Last time we saw them live, well, I was only in year 7. Like I was only in high school. I was literally I was a baby, and it was at the Rod Laver Arena. Still the same place.
Yeah.
It was in the mosh pit, right up the front, and they had it was the Black Parade World Tour. And if you've seen that online, you know how it starts. They had these big flaming jet things that just shoot fire into the air.
Yeah.
I was right next to it,
Oh
and it was like
my
right in front of my eyes. I'll never forget it.
Oh.
And like my eyes were burning, but it was burning so bright. Yeah. Anyway,
Our next song is Brighter.
brighter.
Can you,
It
I
is.
haven't got my
It is
glasses
brighter.
on. Okay. I haven't got my glasses on. I can vaguely see what it is.
So this is how it goes. Well, I would have never known. I'd take my sweet roses. Please not this time. No, not this time. Well, this is not your fault. And if you have to go, always know that you shine bright.
Whoever calls at 7 p.m. at night needs to be thrown into the sun. I'm not joking. I'll call Elon Musk myself. Maybe not tweeting, but maybe answer. Yeah, another good one, I reckon.
Yeah, it's not too bad. This is not like my favorite song of theirs, but I do like the way.
I'm
it
not
sounds,
gonna.
so-
I'm not gonna put it on my list, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is a good song.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it sounds good. It's just not my favorite of theirs. Like I know that they do some really good songs. This is probably not one of my top ones that I've got, but it does sound good though.
Yeah,
Here we go again.
this is the Weekend song. What?
I don't.
I'm here to confuse you.
You're succeeding.
And here we go again, with all the things we said and not a minute spent. To think that we'd regret, so we just take it back. These words and hold our breath, forget the things we swore we meant.
Oh. Bloody brilliant.
And here we go again, with all the things we did, and now I'm wondering.
Let's see the tempo as well.
Who would I have been to be the one attached at all times to your hip? Forget the things we swore we
Good girls.
You need to put on Do Not Disturb. That's really crispy.
I like golden retriever. Oh,
We're going to the team with Dorky Dance. Yeah, boy.
Yes. Yes.
You're not supposed to agree.
You said it. Very cool.
Yeah, it's a sick
I
song.
like that.
That's very sick.
I actually kind of like the echo effect that they created just at the end with the layering. That was kind of
I liked what they were doing the whole song with like the compressed vocals and like just and I actually was kind of thinking at the end there that sort of outro, instead of making that an outro, that would have been really cool layered over like the last verse or something like in the background. But you know, yeah. But yeah, no, what a halfway song, really good.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so it is a halfway one. So, all right. Well, album review.
Album review.
Yes. What do you think?
Mid-album review. I
Yes.
think it's going really well, really swimmingly.
Yes.
Swimmingly. Hi, yes, very, very swimming. Yes, I like it. I don't know where the Britishness came from. I'm just like, dial that back. Ignore me. Anyway.
All right.
Anyway. Yeah, so I would say like I'm kind of liking it a smidge more than right at the moment. There was a lot of songs a couple songs that started right that sounded really generic.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a little bit more experimental, and I'm sort of clicking with the experimental stuff a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than I was with Riot, but we're not at the end of the album yet, so I don't have a full view on that. But yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I do like this album. Just very. They've obviously got a theme that they've got with this, but it's not leaning too far in any direction. They're just kind of, as you say, being experimental with it.
Yeah, they're definitely playing around with like vocals and sound and like tempo change, and then changing rhythm, and then changing But I feel like in doing all this, they honed a style which was really really useful later on.
Well, I think this is it's sounding quite raw as well. Like there's still like
it does sound
a
raw,
professional sound to it and everything, but it's still quite raw sounding. And I think that's one thing that I don't love about some newer bands, newer artists and stuff, is that a lot of their music is very edited.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there's absolutely edits on this. There will be. There has to be. But in saying that, there can still be more of their sound than what the edited sound will be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you can definitely hear if a song or an artist has, like, it's just too clean. It's too clean. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's a really scrubbed sound. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's why I'm really liking. Why I like Paramore quite a bit, but I also like this particular album quite a bit. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Gonna take a quick break. Their albums are relatively short, but we'll just take a
Yeah, happy to take a break. We will be back in a second.
All right.
Wow, look, she's got her glasses back on.
Yeah, I know, because you were lying to me about fucking titles. Anyway,
I wasn't lying to you about titles.
Is it brighter? And you're like, maybe. And I'm like, is it or not?
No, I said brighter in a really ambiguous way.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, I know, but whatever.
I can't trust him. Anyway. All right. So we are back.
We're back.
From our break that you never got to see.
You could just imagine the break.
Just us dancing.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's what we do in all breaks. We have a quick dance break. That's why it's called a break dance, because it happens during the break.
Stop. Cease. Ceasefire, okay? Down the shovel.
Alrighty. Okay.
Alright. Our next song will be Never Let This Go.
Yep. Yeah, it was a good one as well. I'm not going to add it to my playlist just because I feel like I need to be in a certain mood to enjoy this one. But yeah, I did enjoy that one. I just want to say though, the only gripe I had was I just felt like it was just a little bit too simple. The lyrics anyway. Like the music was really great. I love what they were doing with the sound. To be honest, I feel like there's more of a band song than it is a lyric song, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's probably why I won't add it, just because I kind of need a little bit more than that. But
Yeah.
it's the song's fine. No major issues with it otherwise.
All right. Well, the next song is "Whoa."
Whoa.
Oh,
I'll show you another song called "Whoa" by Ali and AJ from the Disney Channel.
oh no. Okay. Alrighty then.
I think it's called Like Whoa.
Huh?
I think it's called Like Whoa, not Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Like Whoa.
I don't know if that's better.
I'll show you. It's good. You'll enjoy it.
Oh, that's sure. All right.
Uh-huh.
I've hoped for change, it gets better every day. I've hoped for change, but still I feel the same. There's something wrong, 'cause everybody knows that we can do this on our own. Whoa, whoa. We're doing fine, and it gets better every time. We're doing fine, but I'll let you decide. There's something wrong, 'cause everybody knows that we can do this. I want you to help me through this. I don't want to start over again. We got everybody singing.
No.
You didn't.
In fact, I have to say, this is my first nope on the album. I'm gonna probably swerve this track completely.
Okay.
And it was the Woes that did it. They were pretty flat, uninteresting, and there was supposed to be the hook, and I didn't feel hooked by them. In fact, I felt like it was like a force field repelling me from the rest of the song, which is really sad because I feel like the verses did a way better job of hooking me in.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, that one didn't really speak to me, to be honest.
I think that was more of a song that they made in order for
I
like.
feel like for concerts, for sure.
Yeah, it's for
sure.
like concerts and stuff like that. So it isn't really one of my favorite.
I feel like I don't want to make it seem like I have this track record of not liking these like concert tracks.
Yeah.
I do like a lot of concert tracks. It's just that the ones that Paramore seem to make, I don't know, they just seem too generic to me. Like that is like probably the most generic song on this album so far, and it just to me doesn't feel very good.
I think it's because it's so forced. Like, because
it does feel forced to me.
Like they're.
And I'm gonna say I'm justified, and the reason I'm justified is on this album, that is the most unpopular song on this album according to Spotify.
Yeah.
By the numbers.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm justified.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason that they're making songs that are not so like concert friendly per se is such a good idea for them is because their music is a little bit more like it's a bit of art.
Yeah, it's a bit of art, and I think in a concert setting, like the consistency is key.
Yeah.
To get the crowd doing what you want, and to have the kind of environment that you want in a concert.
Yeah.
Like it's obviously different from the kind of feelings that you want to give someone when they're listening to a record.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Too much further than that. We'll go into.
Let's go to the next song.
Yeah. Conspiracy.
Earth is flat. down my coffee and I'm still not awake.
He went slowly, so.
It's straight in my vein.
Please speak softly, for they will hear us, and they'll find out why we don't trust them. It's me, and tell me how I've lost my power. To whom do I owe? Explain to me this conspiracy against me. And tell me how. And when all security fails, we'll be there to help me through. Explain to me.
Yeah, right. I really liked the lyrics of this one,
Mhm.
actually.
I feel like the O's.
The OOs were good. Yeah, no, it was a good song. I'm gonna add that to my list. I'm just trying to like collect my thoughts. So there's a lot of dimensions to this one. So that
Yeah.
the reason I was trying to follow the lyrics because the lyrics were really good. But it was hard because the sound. This one I'm gonna have to listen to a few more times to really digest it. But like because the sound was quite powerful too. So the lyrics are quite powerful and the sound was quite powerful. And
Yeah.
like and then to add more insult to injury, Haley's voice was out there whacking my eardrums like, you know, we know you can sing, Haley, you don't need to do this, but she was doing it anyway. And so yeah, like there was just all three sort of senses being bombarded there. So I was like struggling to sort of put it all together, but I feel like that's got plenty to chew on. So I'm gonna listen to that a few times. But yeah, love the song.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, I really like that song. It's a fantastic song. The lyrics are great. The band's amazing, and I like Haley's voice to top it off in terms of like the melodic style that she does for her singing. In those like slower songs, is very cool.
Hmm.
Cool. All right. Well, the next song, Franklin.
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
And when we get home,
Yeah, straight.
Yeah.
we won't be home at all. This place we live, it is not where we belong, and I miss who we were, and the town that we could call our own. Going back to get away after everything has changed. Everything has
really enjoyed that one as well.
I really like the chorus on that just because they did so beautifully to work with each other on that.
I was gonna say like having the male backing vocals with like sort of not harmonizing, sorry, doing the call and response with the male backing vocals was so good. Like I love call and response anyway, but like and his voice is like, because her voice is like up here, his voice is like down here. It was really good. Like it gave super great contrast, and yeah, really enjoyed that song. So whoever Franklin is, like,
you know, I really like that because it was obviously you wanted that contrast, but at the same time it was so good because you could really differentiate between it seriously being them needing the like it to sound like it was a response from someone else. It wasn't just like just other lyrics, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they worked really well together. And then I liked at the end where they weren't so much overlapping each other, but like talking to each other.
So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was they were using call and response as part of like a conversation in the context of the song. But then at the end, it like they really solidified that point with the backwards and forwards rather than it being just call and response within a chorus. It was like the verses was then also call and response. So yeah, it was really good.
Okay. Well, the next song is My Heart.
The last song is the end.
There is a deluxe version of this, but I thought
you're the deluxe version of My Heart. That was so lame. Never say no again.
I am finding out that maybe I was wrong, that I've fallen down and I can't do this alone. Stay with me now, and it's been so long since I've heard a sound, the sound of my only hope. This time I will be listening. This heart, it beats for only you.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I'm interested to see what you think of that one.
I really loved it.
Oh, you did?
Like I really loved that one.
Okay. You weren't put off by the screaming that was happening?
No.
I'm actually surprised.
I don't mind Scream.
Okay.
I don't mind Screamo. Like it's got to be used like tactfully. Like you can't just fucking scream into a mic and expect me to think, that's good music. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry if that's like your primary genre. That is a genre, but whatever.
It is actually.
I'm gonna be really boomerish about this, but no. Look, anyway, yeah, no, really, 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 really good song. I want to know. For me, it's either a toss-up between Emergency and that one for my favorite. Like honestly, they were both really great songs. But the thing is, with My Heart, is that is a great way to finish the album. I could just imagine that, like at the end of a concert, just fucking everyone. Your voice is already gone, but you're still screaming somehow.
Yeah.
And then they whip this out, and this would have been back in the days where you all had your flip phones, and so everyone had their flip phones out. Nuts.
Yeah, no, I really like that song. It's that always gets me every time because it's like the first half is obviously pretty chill, and then suddenly it's like yeah, I'm like oh yeah,
I was
right.
like, whoa!
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh yeah,
Hello
no.
there, Mr. Throot.
I was like, yeah, no, that's right, that's right. I suppose at this point we're kind of just album review.
Yeah, it's that. This is it. We're at the end.
Album review, guys. All right, so would you like to give your summary of what you think the album felt like?
Yeah. It's weird because going into this, I was thinking it was going to be like a beta version of Riot. It doesn't feel like a beta version of Riot. Riot definitely feels like its own thing. Now that
Yeah.
now like I've heard this album all the way through.
Mm.
I'm gonna find. I don't know how I'm gonna say this, but I kind of preferred this album with Riot. The reason being is that towards the tail end of Riot, it kind of got very stale. Like there
Mm.
wasn't a lot of creativity going on. I felt like it was a lot of samey sort of stuff, generic sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And okay, there was maybe two tracks on this album that I felt that way about.
Yeah.
This album, I feel like the whole thing, there was this experimentation, this playing going on. And okay, you know, sometimes the sounds didn't exactly work, but it wasn't displeasing. Like sometimes you just go, oh, okay, that's not really working. But they would, because they would experiment throughout the whole song with different sounds and doing different things melodically, and even, you know, to the point where like the way Haley would sing things, sometimes I would just feel like, oh, interesting. Wonder why she would do it that way. It wasn't like jarring, whereas like I feel like some things on Riot and a lot of things on Brand New Eyes. I'm sorry, Brand New Eyes is just not an album for me. I just can't. I've tried. Like I've tried listening to it. I just feel honestly of the three first albums, because this is the three first albums, right? So it's this one, Riot, and Brand New Eyes. I think that's right.
2005, All We Know Is Falling. Then there was 2007, Riot. Brand New Eyes was after that.
Yeah, I thought so. So those were the first three. Like I thought. So I have to say of the three, I think their first one's the best one.
Yeah. Which is funny.
Kind of contradicting what I said at the start. Funny.
Mm.
And I would say Riot is a close second to this one in my eyes.
Yeah.
So this album gets a big fat thumbs up from me. Really good stuff.
That's good.
Like I have to say, like this is, I don't like this as much as After Laughter. Like After Laughter is like,
I mean, they're well into.
that's like right into my. That's like right in my groove.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of style I love. It's hard to top that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a close second for me. Awesome. Before we shoot off, we should probably touch on what we're going to be listening to next week. We're back to Taylor Swift next Tuesday. So we listened to Speak Now last week. You like that album?
Yes.
We've only got one more album before we listen to Midnights.
Ooh.
We've
Okay.
only got one more to go. So we're going to be listening to the album that I think is like a bit like it's like 1989, but sort of better.
Okay.
Better in a lot of ways. The lyricism in this album's a lot better. So we'll be listening to Lover.
Yeah.
Which is sort of weird and jarring, but this is the album that came out right before Folklore. And when I say right before, it's like 9 months before.
Oh, right.
She released this, and then she released Folklore like 9 months later.
Yeah, as much as people have been like, I don't know that she likes them. I'm like, no, I'm actually surprised with how many I do like.
Playlist coming soon. We will work on it. I've got to like hold on to her and be like, we're going through the music.
Yeah, we've got to sit.
We've actually got to sit down and actually find it. And
Yeah.
so we're actually re-listening to it all again.
Yeah.
And then if she likes it, we add it to the playlist.
Yeah.
It's time consuming, but I think that's the right way to do
Yeah.
it. But yeah, that's it for us for tonight. Thank you for watching another episode of Music in Bed, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.